This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
Do you remember when we were first married? To our wives, not to each other.
Yes.
Right. And we were in that stage where we would fake enthusiasm for stuff we didn't care about. Do you remember that? I mean, when it was...
Didn't that pretty much end when after the wedding?
No, well...
I think it was in the lead up to the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it waned.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna... and you know, that was pretty much everything that we didn't...
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't care about anything.
Yeah,
so it was fake enthusiasm
I remember,
about everything.
When we first started dating, Bridget and I actually went out dancing once or twice. Talk about false advertising.
I remember once Michelle bought a duvet cover.
Yeah.
And I actually go, oh, I love it. Like, couldn't care less. Well, we got a new hot water heater installed last week.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Well, and for Michelle, it was like the Super Bowl, Charles' coronation, the man landing on the moon, the whole thing. I mean, this was her, shining moment. Right?
Yeah.
And then when she found, we actually have a neighbor who lived a couple doors down who works for Apt Electronics.
Yeah.
And the happiest day of her life was not our wedding. It was when she found out that he could be our mole on the inside to get this water heater. So let's just be honest. I did not share her exuberance for the hot water heater.
That's shocking.
And quite frankly, I got a little annoyed with how much she was talking about to the lead up into the hot water, into the installation. So for 12 days, it has been installed for 12 days. Okay.
Yeah.
I have refused to go down there to look at it. Okay. It's in our laundry room.
Wow, this is really some passive aggressive
Very passive
stuff
aggressive. I have not looked at the $4,000 thing until that. But yesterday she asked me, and I think she was beginning to realize what was going on.
Okay.
She asked me what the color of the hot water heater was.
Wow.
Okay. Right. I took a shot, white. It was wrong.
Oh,
okay.
I thought it was white too.
No, it wasn't white. But I think I may have overplayed my hand a little bit, because she looked at me and she goes, "Well, you don't care, so I'm not gonna tell you what I've got planned for the kitchen."
Oh no!
So my little petty, passive aggressive, not caring, fake
blowing
enthusiasm.
Up in your face.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it seems like she has broken the code.
Yeah, I am screwed.
Which is very hard to do with you because you're such a complex creature.
Right.
You really are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a show to do. Let's do it.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
And they've got all like these, she was telling me all about these, things that it can do and how it's going to save the planet.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Panda schmandas as far as
blah, blah.
Hey, we got a huge show today. We got to get going,
Okay.
I think. Here, can you cue the Jenkins jingle?
I can. It's right here.
When you're on the job and you're not doing it right. Jenkins! Time now for Dave to share stories of employee screw-ups. Jenkins! It could only be Jenkins with Rick and Dave. Jenkins!
The story also comes out of Florida, but I'm not going to ask you to do the Florida jingle.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Miami Heat mascot sent to the hospital after a halftime skit goes bad. During halftime of Game 4 of the NBA Finals, quick, who are the two teams that were in the NBA?
The Nuggets and the Heat.
Okay, there you go. One of them won yesterday.
Yeah,
Which one?
Was the Nuggets.
Yes, it was the Nuggets.
Huge basketball fan.
So during halftime of Game 4, which was last week, mixed martial arts champion Conor McGregor. You can do a Conor McGregor. Yeah. Do your Conor McGregor
No, I
impersonation.
can't.
It's an Irish guy.
Yeah. No, I thought he was Scottish.
No, he's Irish.
Let
me put you in your face.
The voice has to go up here.
So mixed martial arts champion Conor McGregor was part of this halftime shtick. Okay.
Yeah.
He was pitching. He's got like this spray that if you like.
It was an Irish Spring.
No. See, once you start, you can't stop, right? But he's got like this spray, this like anesthesia spray. You know how when you used to watch baseball, or they still do, where you get hit in the face and they just put some spray on it and go back out?
Yeah.
Why don't they sell that in the stores, right?
I know.
Well, they do, evidently. Conor McGregor has this new thing. It's this sport body and a sneaker space. Well, the bit was that he was going to talk about it, and then Bernie, Burnie, get it? The Bernie mascot, the Miami Heat mascot, came out with boxing gloves to challenge McGregor to a fight, right? Well, so they sparred a little bit, and then Conor McGregor hits him with a left hook, and Bernie just falls down, right?
Yeah.
As Bernie is on the ground, he hits him again right in the face, like punches him really hard in the face.
Wow.
He knocked out Bernie.
Dude.
Bernie was unconscious. In fact, the cheerleaders, and check this out on YouTube, it's hilarious. The cheerleaders had to drag the mascot Bernie off the floor because he was unconscious.
Luckily, that basketball floor is very slippery.
Absolutely. And,
so,
and the mascot, it's the plush mascot.
Yeah,
thing,
I mean, that must have been pretty easy to pull him off of there.
What brainiac in the marketing department must have thought, let's get Conor McGregor, who's a bit of a loose cannon, evidently.
Apparently. Jeez.
However, this isn't the worst mascot mishap of late in the last 6 months.
Oh?
You want to hear what happened to Okie?
Sure, I'd love to hear.
Okie is the mascot for the Delta State Fighting Okras. I'm not making this up. Delta State in Cleveland, Mississippi, their mascot is the Fighting Okras.
Okay.
You know what an okra is?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So
vegetable.
it's a life-size, a kid presumably dresses up in a life-size okra costume.
Okay.
Well, the Brainiacs, some college intern or whatever, decided, why don't we have wild animals chase okra at halftime?
Okay,
Because
of course,
animals, they had deers, rabbits, and chipmunks. Okay, they let them out at halftime to chase Okie around halftime to show the health benefits of okra.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, Okie suffered multiple deer bites and was hospitalized for 3 days in 2022.
That is a bummer. That is a bummer.
So I don't know which one of these is worse. Who's the more Jenkinsy of the two?
Well,
mascot?
There was one in Chicago. Do you remember when the chicken came to Chicago?
The San Diego chicken?
Yeah. And he did a bit with the Lovable. And she sued him for $300,000
for grabbing her or whatever.
No, it was like he caused her to get like TMJ in her jaw or something with like some. I even wrote a song about it.
Oh my God!
This is
of course you did.
I did. Would you like to hear a little bit of it?
When was this song?
When was the song?
Did you just write it down or no?
No, it was in the 90s.
All right, I had no idea.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a story in the news about a chicken on a floor rolling with a lovable. But she really didn't like it, so she thought that she would fight it. She decided that she'd sue. The lovable and chicken trial lasted quite a little while, and we wondered who would win. The cuddly little fellow wearing orange and yellow was assured that it was him. The chicken don't know what to say now. He thinks he blew it on the stand. The lovable with TMJ now was awarded $300,000. Here's a story in the news.
Okay, yeah, you get the point.
So she got paid $300,000?
Yeah.
What is TMJ?
It's like a jaw thing, when your jaw's a little out of whack.
Did he hit her or something?
No, they were rolling on the floor and, she got jostled and... Yeah.
Was there any event from 1992 to whatever that you didn't write a song about?
No, there was not. So
what? I mean, you did the. What did you do? You didn't do any tragic. Like you didn't do a Tylenol poisoning song. Did you?
No, because that was
bit
in the 80s.
That was a little bit before our time.
That's silly.
What did you do? Like any real tragedies?
I did a song about when Jeffrey Dahmer died.
Okay.
To the tune of The Night Chicago Died, the night that Dahmer died. And that one we played once, and they came running into the studio and said, never play that again. Never play it again. Anyway. All right, I have a story for you. And this,
Your
I think...
song was great, by the way.
This story is taking care of a problem that I think has been a problem forever. A Little League in New Jersey is taking a hands-on approach, and its target is people who curse and yell at volunteers who are umpiring baseball games for little kids. 10-year-old, 11-year-olds. We're talking like, 15-year-old kids that are umpiring. And if you've never seen it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, this guy in New Jersey is a genius because he has come up with a new code of conduct. Any spectator deemed in violation, of the no yelling.
You suck.
Will be banned from the complex until they umpire 3 games themselves.
That's great. That is great.
And, if you think about this, basically it's you get a problem, you do it.
Of course. Yeah.
And it's turned out that this has actually ended all of it.
Yeah.
It's ended all of it.
Because once you make them take their time to do something, they're like, screw that, I'm not going to.
Have you ever, now you didn't get to experience this quite as much because your girls didn't really play that sports for that very long, but I have seen some horrific things in my 17 years of being a coach. I once saw an opposing coach go after a referee like he had to be stopped by his team. And we're talking like 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I saw another coach that had to be physically restrained. I saw a girl, go after a referee and start punching him. And then her father came running out onto the field and went after the referee.
It's like a Sopranos episode.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And that's just in soccer. But Little League is worse. Yeah. I once saw a father coach on each team have a fist fight at home plate over a call at home plate. It's like, what in the heck is going on?
I remember when I played. Now, this wasn't direct. I mean, it was directed at me. Danny Durst's dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Ever tell the story?
Yeah, but it's a good one.
This is going to come as a shock to you.
Yeah.
Was not very good.
What?
I know, absolutely. I was the 3.5 inning guy because it was mandated by the laws of the
right field.
Played a little right field. I also played third base a lot. Was it because players couldn't pull? Maybe then?
I don't know.
But I remember going up to bat in a crucial situation, and then Danny Durst's dad going, "Ugh, why is he batting? He's not going to get a hit." Or guess what? I didn't get a hit. I struck out on 3 pitches. But what the story actually ended good because I saved all my money. I bought the company that Danny Durst's dad worked at and fired his ass. That is my vindictive dream.
Yeah.
Never. But yeah, I mean, I remember. Oh, it was freaking brutal.
My dad, he didn't get to see many of my baseball games, but he came one time to film it.
Oh, is this the?
And we still have this home movie.
Is this the bat on the shoulder?
It's 4 times at bat where we'll go up there, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Walk back to the dugout. Another time, strike 1, strike 2, go walk back to the dugout. It's a film of me striking out 4 times without swinging a single time.
What do you think so how many years did you play Little League?
I played through 10th grade.
Did you really? So how many years?
I don't know, 5, 6 years, something like that.
How many at-bats did you think you had in those?
Oh, hundreds.
Yeah. How many hits did you get?
Dozens.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. A dozen out of, it's still batting like 100.
Yeah.
But my on-base percentage was close to 500.
Yeah, because you'd walk every time. Hey, I got a review, and this one comes from Mac Jackson. Mac Jackson sounds like Jackson's a guy that we can have a beer with, don't you think?
Hey, Mac Jackson.
From Apple Podcasts, or on Apple Podcasts. This is a fun podcast with a natural conversation. You'll be excited for each new episode, and the guests make it just unpredictable enough. Listen today. And again, that's Mac Jackson on Apple Podcasts. And please rate, subscribe. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. And if you like Minutia Men, be sure to check out some of the other programs on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Pick out your favorite new show at opishows.com. Remember, Opie is hippo backwards, OPPIH shows.com. Time for another feature.
Time now for Studio Walls.
And the words of the prophets were written on the studio walls. Rick and Dave.
So this is the part of the show where we reach into the Rick and Dave archives and we pull out something that is appropriate for this week, repurposing it, and you know, highlighting some of the stuff we've done over the years. This week in 1972, Dave, the biggest X-rated movie of all time.
72. So is that... It's not Debbie Does Dallas.
Deep Throat.
Deep Throat, of course.
Deep Throat was released this week.
With Meryl, who was the...
I think it was Linda Lovelace.
Okay.
Obviously, we were too young to see it at the time. We were both 9 years old.
Striking out in Little League at the time.
Right. But remember when we were in college?
In fact, Linda Lovelace was it. He's not going to get a hit.
Remember when we were in college and the frats would show that movie Lincoln Hall or whatever? Yeah. Anyway,
I remember Debbie Does Dallas was the one that.
Yeah, that was another big one. Well, we've never had a porno star on the show until recently, but we did have one recently, and her name was Maitland Ward, and we had her on a few months back. Now, you may remember her as an actress on the sitcom Boy Meets World. But she has since moved into adult films, which is
doing very well.
Yeah, is really totally cool with it.
Very intelligent, very nice lady.
And we talked to her a little bit about what that transition was like, and let's play a little clip of that for you. Well, so what is the most surprising thing that you've discovered now that you're in this world?
I think I guess I surprised myself with how good I was as a performer and how much I loved it. Like when I did my first shoot where I did sex with a guy was actually on my own content shoot, and when I did it, I just like went all for it. And afterwards, the guy who was a professional porn star and I both of the guys that I ended up working with for my own content were longtime professional porn stars, and they taught me a lot, and they were great. But I asked him, what do you remember about that? And he's like, you weren't nervous at all. And it was your first time to have sex actually on film with a guy. And I was like, he's right. I wasn't nervous. I found this, like, I could just let myself go and just lose myself in this performance. And I loved it. And the surprising thing is how normal everyone is. I think there's this misconception that porn people are like scary and taboo and they're weird. They're all regular people who just have sex for a job and they love what they do, most of them, but it's like they go home to families and spouses and girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever they go home to. They're making a living with everything with OnlyFans and stuff these days. It's really allowed girls to build up businesses and brands that are, making them wealthy and securing them for the future. I know so many girls who are going to college and they are not going to have any student debt. They're not going to have any problems. And they, and it's such a, dare I say, a godsend for them.
That's Maitland Ward.
So she didn't have fake enthusiasm. She had real enthusiasm.
Real enthusiasm. And we talked to her for
30 minutes.
Actually more like 45 minutes. You should check it out. I listened to most of it again.
We don't
this
generally
morning.
last that long, Rick.
Yeah, for us that was a pretty good round. It's episode 111. If you want to check it out, Minutia Men Celebrity Interview.
Hey, Rick, I got a story here that I think is pretty much your biggest fear happened in Ecuador.
Oh, no.
All right. Woman declared dead in Ecuador revives during her wake.
Oh, no.
Health authorities investigate. A 76-year-old woman who was declared dead at a hospital in Ecuador astonished her relatives by knocking on her coffin during her wake.
Oh, no.
And the incident...
Oh, my God.
The incident has prompted a government investigation into the hospital. Relatives left the coffin behind and rushed the retired nurse, Bella Montoya, back to the hospital after the Friday's wake in the central city of Babahoyo, Ecuador.
Yeah, okay.
It gave us all a fright, Barbera, who was her son, adding that doctors have said his mother's situation still remains dire. Evidently,
Yeah.
being in a coffin scratching, you're not out of the woods yet. Right.
Oh, my gosh.
And then Ecuador's health ministry said that Montoya was in intensive care Monday, and they are investigating on how a death certificate could possibly have been given. I know what happened. It was probably Friday afternoon, 4:30, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah,
She's not dead yet. She'll be dead any second.
By the time the ink dries. So wishing her the best.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But here's a hypothetical
my
for
God.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say it's your wake, like 50, 60 years from now.
Oh, yeah. So
Okay?
far in the future.
Right. And I have departed, and your wife has departed, and all your family, but your 3 sons are there.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're at the front, and they're hearing you scratch at the coffin.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Pretend like they don't hear it.
I didn't hear that. What do you? Yeah. Hey, this herring isn't gonna eat itself. So let's go.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, that is going to haunt my dreams.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I have a Father's Day story because, this weekend, of course, is Father's Day weekend, and I'm sure our families have giant plans for us.
Michelle told me I can't be in the house all of Saturday because they're going to prepare everything.
Really?
Oh, there's going to be
marching bands.
Oh my God, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Actually, Michelle's golfing.
Oh, okay.
Good for her.
Yeah. Well, Bridget's birthday is this weekend too, so whatever. Anyway, with Father's Day quickly approaching, a survey was conducted to find out where dad-isms are most prevalent in the U.S. Dad jokes.
Yeah.
Why fathers reuse, and reuse popular dad jokes.
That's called repurposing.
And how their partners and kids really feel about them. So here are some key takeaways. You ready? Guess which state is the most popular dad joke state?
All right, well, hold on. A lot of the southern states don't have any humor.
Yeah.
So,
no offense to our southern state listeners.
I'm going to say Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Right.
Pennsylvania. And second is Illinois.
Oh.
Yeah. North
because
Carolina. Yeah,
it's
probably.
Purely just because of
probably.
you.
Yeah. How many dads in Illinois have a parody song ready on any subject matter? Right.
Cancer got one.
Yeah.
Illinois, tuberculosis got one.
Illinois, North Carolina, Missouri, Tennessee, Colorado, and Nebraska have the highest dad jokes. What is the most popular dad joke in the country?
I don't know.
Hi, hungry. I'm dad. This is the number one most popular dad joke in the country. And here are the next ones. All right. I'm not sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
Item doesn't ring up on cash register. Does that mean it's free?
I've done that a couple of times.
I have too. We're not lost. We're taking the scenic route. And the number one dad joke in Illinois is, and I have used this one. How much money do you need? Yeah, I'll just go out to the money tree out back. That is number one. Have you ever used that?
Oh, yeah. I've done the money tree. I've done, yeah. Absolutely. I've flopped out.
So it's good that we're just living up to our
What was the thing
stereotype.
that your dad would say? 5 cents, $5, $500.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, do it in a Conor.
5 cents, $5, $500.
Can now do it as Conor McGregor.
It's 5 cents, 5. No, I can't.
Actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's time for another feature, though.
A random name pulled out of Rick's bowl of brushes with celebrities. Mixture, collection, selection, assemblage, medley, assortment, variety. Time now for Celebrity Potpourri with Rick and Dave.
And this is the part of the show.
You can't stop.
I can't.
It's like an earworm. It's an Irish earworm.
It is. This is the part of the show where people send us their emails with celebrity stories. And I got to say, they just keep coming in. Apparently, you are correct.
Everyone's got a story.
Everyone's got a story. This one comes from Marty. And I don't know what it was about this story that hooked me, but let me read it to you. Rick and Dave, this is kind of an embarrassing story, but I thought you guys would appreciate it. When I was a kid growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, even though I lived in a town with 0 black people, I loved black culture. My favorite movie was Car Wash. My favorite TV show was Good Times. When I
You
played,
could do worse than a car wash
Yeah.
in the good times. What
Well,
about What's Happening?
see, I bet he liked that too. When I played basketball, I wore wristbands and a headband like Slick Watts. And I once wrote a fan letter to Jesse Jackson at Operation Push. It was just a phase, although I still love music from that era. My mom passed away recently, and we were cleaning out our house, and guess what I found? The letter and photos sent to me by Jesse Jackson thanking me for writing him.
Oh.
I hadn't thought about that for 40 years. It looks like a personalized letter. He thanks me for the poem I wrote.
Wow.
And says he may use it in a speech.
Wow.
I would love to get a copy of that poem. I have no memory at all of writing it. I was 10 years old at the time.
You know what? You could make a parody song of that poem, probably.
Well, that's true. I could.
Yeah.
This is a poem that I wrote when I was in 6th grade. It's called Honest Abe. You ready? Honest Abe, he was called, and we are sure he was not bald. When he was young, he read and read, and even when he was in bed. But until the day he died, he had still never lied. He was one of our leaders, and a good one at that, who always wore a very high hat. And just as he wanted and just as he got, except for a man with a dangerous plot. John Wilkes Booth was a very bad man, and surely not a Lincoln fan. He put a great leader into his grave who wanted so much to save every slave. Dave Stern, 1974.
Well, that's... You know, the Lincoln Museum just asked me for that.
You have a kindred spirit here in Marty. So I thought Marty would appreciate that.
I would have loved to have heard Abraham Lincoln use that in part of the speech.
I would too.
I love how Vinny did the sound effects.
Yeah.
When did I don't ever remember saying, we must have been in the studio.
Yeah, we were recording something.
But I love
together.
the bullet.
Yeah.
John Wilkes Booth was a bit.
Anyway, so if you go to Minutia Men Celebrity Interview right now, Dave, who is on there?
It's Shatner's hairpiece, right?
It is Shatner's hairpiece.
And we got to interview, he's a YouTube star, Shatner's, he goes by Shatner's hairpiece.
Yeah.
He is a really interesting guy. We had
He
a
is.
great conversation about, I mean, he does these guitar solos that can last for 4 hours.
And he does them on the streets
of Vancouver.
Yeah.
Of Vancouver. And he films people's reactions and he's got like 1.5 million subscribers.
Yeah, and he also has, like 37 million views or something like that. It's just amazing.
And it's great. So check out our interview and check out Shatner's hairpiece.
That's right. All right, we have people to thank. Special thanks to our executive producer, Tony Lasana with opishows.com. Opie is hippo backwards. OPPIHshows.com. We're distributed by Ed Silla with Radio Misfits. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place. RadioMisfits.com. And we'll be back again next week with a brand new episode of
Minutia Men.
The preceding was a presentation of Opie Productions. Find our other great shows wherever you find podcasts, including opishows.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?